Hey everybody, Theta here, back with another stone-faced reactions, watching Crest of the Stars. New episode. I forget what episode number I'm on. Sorry. Just I guess a quick announcement ahead of things. Oh god, let me get through this. In case I'm a little low energy or just a little bit more down than normal. Uh, to let you know, I don't know who would be seeing this at what time. Patreon sees things at different times than YouTube. And I think Crest of the Stars is scheduled to release sometime after Magic Knight Rayearth finishes, if not another series. So I apologize if this just seems weirdly timed to stuff that you already know. But Griff has decided today to move on from the channel to do other things that they need to do in their life. And of course, we wish them the best of luck. It's just that if you've been around this channel for any amount of time, I guess, you would know from our role-playing day roots to here. It's been about, I'd say about 7 years. We've been playing a little bit longer before that, before we did channel-related stuff. So, yeah, it just got me down a bit that someone who I basically spent the majority of my time with every single week, he is now no longer going to be there. I know, I've been be a bit it might be a bit too much. Maybe I'm just sad over nothing and I'll get over it. But it's like it's like moving away from a childhood friend. It just really gets to me. So I apologize if I'm just a little bit slower or a little bit more sad than I am in a normal recording. And I hope you'll bear with me until we can move past. Once again though, we wish Griff all the best of luck in all of his future endeavors. Now then, onto the show. First thing we have to do, though, is you know how I've been saying I've been wanting to do a concept board for the longest time? Well, it seems like the company who's hosting has finally put up an alternate site to allow me to do everything I do on the board that I'm already using. So thankfully there's that, and boom, here we go. Concept board for Crest of the Stars with all the characters I can remember having been named so far. Now, I don't know how to typically do this since I usually. Sorry, I'm about to choke myself up with emotion again. Normally I do this with Griff, and I would normally be pointing everything out. I'm sorry. So yeah, a board. I finally made the board so we can go over the characters that have been introduced so far. Again, normally I would be doing this with Griff, but I guess I'm gonna have to learn through experience how to do a character breakdown of a concept board with just you, the audience. Maybe I'll share a link or something to it so you can see it more directly, or maybe just an image of something. Because normally I would just have Griffin go over one of these and spot the differences, but I mean, hopefully you can see what's going on here. Green lines represent allies or friends. White lines represent I don't quite know where they stand right now. For example, Silne and Clowal here. I'm not exactly sure she's 100% on the alliance. I mean, she stands up to him, but she stands up in a way of, hey, she she's like royal family. What are you doing pointing a gun or disobeying her? That sort of thing. I'm not quite sure she's full on enemy. I mean, maybe that's something that'll happen today's episode. I don't know. The same kind of goes for Greta and Elisa here, in that they helped Lafiel in the control room when she needed help, but I don't know if they've actively gone against Kowal. I mean, they kind of did by doing that, and they also like sidesniped. I don't know how to say her name, Quaspia, when they said, "Oh, you always were his favorite," sort of thing. So yeah, obviously She is. She got shot in the fucking hand. She's an enemy of Lafiel and by extension Jinto. Same as Klual is. But otherwise, oh yeah, blue represents family, so obviously Jinto Lin is family with Rina, wherever she may be, as his family with Rock. Rock, I have white down with Teal because Teal is like seems to be still loyal to the family, even though it's upset with Rock for seemingly thinking he sold everybody out. So unless Teal shows up later, to like stand against Rock as some sort of rebellion sort of thing, then I've got them as white right now, and I am now actually seeing a missing relationship that I do have listed. Let me just go ahead and put that down real quick. Obviously, obviously Teal is ally of Rena as he told Rena to run. I don't think he meant Rena run as in you're in danger. Like, save yourself, I'm not gonna hurt you, sort of thing. So that is there. Obviously, Lafiel is related to Desanio. Maybe not directly, but they're part of a whole royal family lineage, so that's what we're working with there. And of course, Halia, her cat. I've always listed pets as family to the people who own them, that sort of thing. So I don't know if Halia is still alive, mind you, because I don't know how long ago Lafiel was a kid. I'm assuming 14, 15 years. Also, it's a space cat, so who fucking knows? Of course, Lafiel's mother and Lexu, and the entire crew of the Gosroth, all now, of course, perished in that battle 2 episodes ago. Not that she knows. And Adoran Ku, Jinto's friend? Not sure. Otherwise, yeah, also, got Sloof down here, father of Klawal, who's also friend to Jinto. So, on a zoom out, you should be able to now see everything going on and understand the character interactions, which is what I try to do. Hopefully, I get a little bit better at explaining this. Like I said, typically, it's never been one-on-one with me and you, the audience, trying to explain the board. I guess from now on, I'm also going to have to take notes when I change the board to be able to point them out because my favorite game this far has been, "Hey Griff, look at the board. Tell me what's different." So no longer making it for a game for two. Now I'm making it a game for 20. Sorry, I don't know how many people are watching this anymore. Anyway, that's the board. Let me switch the view here over to the episode because I might forget at some point, and the last thing we want me to do is record a reaction to an episode that was never displayed whatsoever. I've done it before. It is a pain in the editing process. Let's see. What were the thoughts from last episode? Let's see what applies to today. Once again, I hope Sloof joins us on the journey. He has strong Uncle Iroh vibes, which I mentioned before. I think we can use that kind of perspective. Granted, he might not know more than anybody else about anything, like Lafiel. I assume Lafiel knows more than Sloof does about stuff, even though Sloof is older. He seems more distant, or at least has been isolated for long enough to not know all this stuff. He's just fun, right? He's just fun. By the way, I apologize if I sound all nasally and whatnot. I am a sad little turtle. I don't know what to say. I cry when my friends leave. We also have the fact that Jinto has been knocked out for 5 hours or so, which means, to Lafiel's estimation, that the United Mankind fleet would arrive at that port in 27 hours, means they have 22 hours left. So we have a ticking clock element. I don't remember if they said how fast or how long it would take them to leave here to then get to that port ahead of time. Although, as much as Kluwal has been a dick this whole time, it is entirely possible he is right that any passing spaceships, or I mean, trade ships, I don't know what he specifically said. It's possible any passing ships could notice the fleet and warn the port before they get there too. I guess the main thing to focus on here is where is Rena? No, I'm not. I'm joking. I'm joking about that. Um, the main thing to focus on here is I think they indicated last episode that Lafiel has begun a course of action that would change things throughout the entire empire in the time to come, which indicates that what she's done is more important than the start of the war, I guess, or at least as important. Which, if it implies that she's um, gone against Ob tradition in such a way as to create a ripple effect through Ob society, that's one thing. Maybe I'm not reading too deeply into it, but maybe that's possible. The other thing that occurs to me is that maybe she's done something which indicates to others her vying directly for the throne. I'm only thinking that because they gave us the information about the throne stuff earlier, and it seems to me that they would only do that if it applied to a situation important to us in the episode, right? They told us about swords and whatnot just before we had to enter a sword and then know what it was that we were doing there. So that's where I'm standing now. I think all other thoughts are secondary to this new opinion. I have spent a lot of time talking now, and as you can tell, my voice is a little bit less or a little bit more ragged than when I wanted to start, and I feel like the nasal problem is not solving itself. So the only thing to do here is to start the episode, see where we go, and hopefully this all clear itself up with distraction. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Lunelage zeg lo aim lum la yal. Oskulakia lesh adulalom liuf and fokagloki puliubamer.
Yeah, I mean, it was really weird. The relationship they had is really weird.
Sedo liufa bolkuler cutazek. Vogue goskulakula lekler nasot seri lonomi la anado. Laksho kulu boka beni usarena bari.
Oh, so a superior op showing up.
Wadegivinat sot luneras luz. Sedo liv sot dufan nehatonlu suria barsimi. Lorito kunaka flor bar laltuneri nocta.
Okay. So we're treating it like, I don't know what you call it, right? Like, how the U.S. views the royal family versus, say, how British people view the royal family. I'm sure someone's gonna correct me on that, but I guess there's a certain amount of fascination from the U.S. side, even though we kind of did the whole breaking away thing. There's a certain level of fascination with the royalty versus actually living in the country with it. Because I think there's more British people who would express negative views of the royal family because they have to like fucking put up with it than there are Americans that would express that view because most Americans either are infatuated with it or just don't fucking care. Versus British people who would have royalists, is that what you would call them? Or, you know, people who fucking hate the royal family, and I feel like there's less people in that middle gap. So these vassals aren't so much indoctrinated into believing in the Baron as they are indoctrinated into being royalists, I guess. And the fact that you now have a member of the royal family or someone in line to the royal family present is totally beating out the fact that you had the Baron indoctrinating them this whole time. Which really then goes against what he said last episode about, I only need my vassals. Not if they're not going to listen to you anymore.
お待ちを。これをお持ちください。伯爵公使閣下にも武器が必要でありましょうほどに。そなたにも武器は必要であろうに。私にはクファスピアの忘れ物がございますわ。
That little pea shooter thing she had.
もう一つそなたに頼みがある。光栄でございます、王女殿下。連絡艇の中からもジントと話ができるようにしたい。可能か？
お前たちは大丈夫だろうな。
大丈夫かとは我らの忠誠心のことでありましょう。
I have to wonder
そう
if
だ。
もちろんでございますとも。
Lafiel can actually
そのような
trust
問いすら心外でございます。
Celia.
そうか。お前たちこそ真の家臣だ。たとえ王女を敵にするともついてきてくれるな。
皇帝陛下を敵にするともついてまいりましょう。
こちらは火星室です。
I'm only questioning Celia's loyalty because she seems like infatuated right now, not like she actually believes in the cause.
紛争が発生中。原因は我らが主君フェブダーシ男爵閣下が軍務中の王女殿下の連絡艇を不当に足止めしたことにあります。王女殿下は直ちに同乗しておられたハイド伯爵公使閣下と共に当上官を後にすることを望んでおられます。それゆえ
思考結晶。
思
考結晶網への接続は不可能です。
Oh, I was wrong.
一般通話機での入出力は不可能な状態にあります。設置式端末をご使用ください。
Also, aren't you sitting in front of a fixed terminal?
端末を起動させろ。
私たちの助力を望んでおられます。
I think I said before that it was actually one of the people
王女殿下に協力しましょう。
talking to Lafiel before.
クリューブ王家の家臣に取り
Oh,
立
that
て
was
てく
supposed to be
れる
the
ことを
bio
殿
things.
下は約束してくださいました。
デタラメだ。王家がそう簡単に家臣を受け入れるはずがない。ムイニーシュ、端末は。
ダメです。接続できません。
裏切り者ども。
How did they lock you out?
気が済むんだ。お前たち一緒に来い。他の端末を使う。ムイニーシュはここに留まって職務を果たせ。
お待ちください。連絡艇にまた侵入者です。
何？
Like I said, my worry is that Celia is just infatuated with the role and the possibility of being made a vassal, and again, is not loyal in the way that she would seem to be loyal. But yeah, again, it looks like they have talking computers, so I got that wrong. I thought there was somebody in that control room from before.
ジント、ジント、
装着されていません。
まだか。それなら補給だ。
But assuming that asteroid really is coming.
あれなら一人で直接補給できる。訓練通りだ。
Oh, is he blowing up his own shit?
補給させない気か。
There's the image we saw in the next time on. I thought the fleet might have been coming, and the fight was happening.
ありったけの反物質燃料をいっぺんに吹き飛ばしたのか。見事だな、男爵。
Well, now your
救出したら、そ
Mega system has literally no value.
絶対殺す。
王女殿下、食料運搬用の通路からクリューノを届けることができました。通話できます。
ラフィール、
ジント、よく聞くがよい。着床ができない。ちゃんと接舷するのは無理だ。
どういうこと？
つまり、そこに余圧服はあるのか？あれば問題ない。
Well, you kinda
そう来
do.
ると思った。
Sloof has no pressure suit.
余圧服はないよ。
そうか。じゃあ真空を泳いでもらうことになるな。なるべく船を近づける。合図をしたら扉を開くがよい。偵索を下ろすから。
ありがたいね。
What about the old
うまく
man?
いくなどと期待しておるのではなかろうな。しょ
I don't want him to die. He did nothing wrong.
付き合ってくれるんでしょ。
嫌だと言っても扉を開くんじゃろうが、わしはこんなところで干からびていくつもりはないぞ。
Yeah, hashtag Sloof did nothing wrong.
連絡艇は全男爵閣下の陰極核の上で同調しました。
まだ諦めないのか。ここは放棄する。お前たち全員武器を持って俺の後についてこい。
しかしな、 伯爵公使閣下をお迎えするだけでも無に過ぎたことじゃというのに王女殿下までお出迎えとはのう。我が家の格も上がったものじゃ。死んだおふくろが
I
聞い
can't
たら
imagine the world
さ
where
ぞ
somebody's
喜ぶじゃ
watching
ろう
this
っ
and
て。
supporting the Baron. But I know
ジント
somebody out there
こ
would.
ちらの準備はできたぞ。
こちらも。
扉の下から離れてるがよい。偵察を打ち込むからな。
分かった。
偵察に体を固定したら言うがよい。まだ空気があるうちにすぐ引き上げる。
そう願いたいね。
いいか。
はい。
よし。たまには清掃以外の仕事も楽しかろうってなだな。
Oh, good. They're calling back to this thing, the weird thing that was just in the background. Yeah, I mean, you better rush before you run out of air, too.
いいよ、引き上げてくれ、ラフィール。
Assuming this isn't like somehow depressurizing the entire complex. You really might want to close your eyes in space. Literally just covered this in a conversation with Macross, with Hiriko and Macross. Literally just a couple of seconds is all it takes to knock you out, if not cause some real damage. And of course, depressurization sickness.
ラフィール。それ、よく似合ってるよ。
ジント
That's cute.
そなた、怪我はないか？
Oh shit. Was this like the Doran Ku conversation? That was all just in his head?
荷物なんだからな。怪我をしてもらっては私が迷惑する。
ね。これで王女殿下がどれほど僕を熱愛しているか分かったでしょう。
I can't tell what's in his head anymore.
空気が薄くなってきた。
Feels like the Doran conversation might have just been in his head, just like the whole...
原因は分か
That
ってい
thing
る
might have been in just his head.
裏切り者ども、聞こえるか？
うるさい。お黙り。あんた生意気よ。
はい、我が君。
グレーだか。ほう、まだ俺を我が君と呼ぶのか。裏切ったくせに。
申し訳ありません。
まあいい。陰極核の余圧が失われたのではないか？
はい、その通りでございます。
対策は講じたのか？
The poor plants, I guess.
男爵閣下、大気循環系をすべて閉鎖いたしました。
それだけか。人海処理系は
失念しておりました。
お前たちも空気がなくなったら困るんじゃないのか？直ちに手を打て。
ではございますが、人海処理系は自動閉鎖できません。ここからでは何も。
バカ者！人手で密閉しろ。いや、考え作業員を出して陰極核に余圧を復活させろ。謀反したのならそれぐらいの手当ては自分たちで考えないか。
Fair
貴
enough.
様の頭蓋骨には胃袋でも詰まっているのか。
ですが、こちらは混乱して。
知るか、バカ！お前たちは発着広間へ急げ。
I mean, I hate that she turned so quickly, if she really did.
直ちに拘束し申せ。
我が君はどうなさいます
Also, the whole Your Excellency
外へ出
thing.
る。これは戦闘だ。
もう一度王女殿下の悪口を言ってごらん。この私が
Yeah, I want to see what's going on in there.
話しなさいよ。この裏切り者。
みんな、ちょっと聞いて。
何よグレーが。今忙しいのよ。
こっちはもっと忙しいわ。うるさいわ。通話機の音を消して。はい。こちら火星室。
当館で全体的な減圧が起こっているわ。しばらく人海投入口を使用しないこと。もし開いている投入口を見つけたら閉めてちょうだい。
減圧ですって？
そうよ。王女殿下が陰極閣の天井の扉を開けて閉めるのを忘れたらしいわ。
ほらご覧なさい。王女殿下は私たちのことなんてどうでもいいのよ。これが証拠よ。
I think the most interesting part of this whole rebellion
あなた真空作業の免許を持っていたわね。
そりゃ仕事柄ね。
is that the elements that are calling in to fight with one another are literally just elements of household labor, right?
私一人じゃとても無理だわ。
残りの人たちもついていって。セール内の助手よ。
私は給仕なのよ。真空作業の免許なんて持ってないし、
The
セ
waitress
ール内なんかの
department.
下で働くのもごめんだわ。専門技術者を集めなさいよ。だいたいグレーダー、あんた何の権限があって私にそんなこと言うのよ。
黙りなさい。ガタガタ言ってる暇はないの。さっさと取り掛かって。慣れていない分余計に時間がかかるでしょ。
グレーダの言う通りだわ。
So we're following the Star Trek rules of slapping your hand down on a control panel. Only intentional button pushes register.
あんたは来ないの？
グレーダー、私は火星室主任歌手なのよ。ここに必要だわ。
閣下は僕たちの味方だよ。
王女殿下、不肖のせがれ目がご迷惑をかけたそうですな。ご迷惑ついでにあいつを懲らしめるのに手を貸していただければ幸いです。
あいにくだがそれはできない。あの者は私が殺す。
それは少し過激ではありませんかな、殿下。
そなたの息子は私の任務
One,
を不可
I
能
can
にして
see
し
where
まったん
Slip's
だ
coming
ぞ。
from.
燃料
Two,
総小惑星を爆破してしまったんだ。
I want Lafiel to kill him.
ジンとそなたと私はここで足止めだ。
そりゃ困ったな。
そなたの感想はそれだけか？怒ってないのか？
そりゃ怒ってるさ。
嘘をつくがよい。
疲れてるんだラフィール。後でちゃんと怒るから。
バカ。
まあまあ、王女殿下。
he's got such a
燃
good
料の
attitude
ことな
though.
ら何とかして差し上げられると思いますよ。
どうやって？
せがれ目は反物質燃料工場にも手をつけたのですかな。
いや、私の知る限りでは無事だ。
それなら工場からかき集めた燃料で行かれるがよろしい。
けれど管制室は男爵の支配下にある。管制を収めないとそなたの計画も無理なのであろう。
全男爵閣下はあの上官を設計したんだ。思考結晶を乗っ取るのは簡単らしいよ。
そなたが威張るな。
とにかくやらせてみてくださらんか。そしてもしうまくいったらせがれ目の命私に預けてくださらんか。
条件をつけるのか？
いけませんかな。どうあってもあいつにお仕受けをしてやりたくてならんのです。
いいであろう。けれど男爵がどうしても
I mean,
邪
it's
魔になる
better than you causing an incident by killing
ごつい
a baron in his own kingdom, right?
それでは手始めに。
王女殿下は第11工場に向かっているな。管制室、聞こえるか？
はい。
Oh, I'm confused for a second because he put his hand down on the
11
control
工場の
panel,
遠隔管理は継続しているのか？
and I thought this was happening as a direct result of
な
that.
ぜか管制室の機能がその不完全状態に陥りまして、一切の制御を受け付けません。
一体どうして王女殿下にこのようなことができたのでしょうか。
父上か。
殿下、
I mean, respect your elders,
ちょっとまずいこと
right?
になりましたぞ。
なんだ？
せがれ目がポーニュに乗り込んだようですわい。
そのポーニュは武装してるのか？
どうなんです？
多分これじゃろうな。濁定不増洗浄性のセグの947型レンガーフ40関西凝集工銃を2丁特別仕様で装備しておる。
こちらから制御できそうか？
無理ですな。あいつは上官の結晶網から船の思考結晶を切り離しておりますわい。
結局そなたの子息を殺すことになるか
We
もしれ
keep
ない。
saying that, but I don't remember if this shuttle is armed.
仕方ありませんな。
でもこの連絡艇は武装してないん
See
じゃない？
what I'm saying?
うん、 非武装だ。
じゃあその自信はどこから湧いてくるんだ？
自信？
これが典型的なアーブの考え方じゃよ。王女殿下は絶対勝てると信じていらっしゃるわけじゃない。死んだ後のことを考えたってしょうがない。生き延びた時のことだけ考えてわしに一言断っておられるんじゃ。
じゃあジントはどう思ってたんだ？
それは
伯爵公使閣下はこの船が破壊される可能性を殿下が考慮に入れていないと誤解なさったのですよ。
私をバカにしてるのか？勝てる確率は10分の1もない。そんなことぐらい分かってるんだ。
I mean, that's less than your mother had.
他にどんな道があるんだ？
これも典型的じゃな。降伏するより10分の1の確率にかける。それは当たり前のことであって論議の対象になるともお考えにならん。
How I played every RPG character I've ever had.
遺伝子はともかく私もアーブです。戦うべき時は心得ております。
ジントは？
僕は荷物なんだ。そうだろう。意見なんかないさ。でも時々は思い出してくれよ、僕のこと。
That is literally the line we heard from Brother the Brother in '86.
さらば父上。
Don't have to focus on me. Just remember me from time to time.
ですな。
もう狙われている。
わかるの？
勘だ。高速の武器を前もって探知するのは不可能だ。これは勘と勘の勝負だ。来た！
Which means you're dodging at random, essentially.
たかが少子衆議生の小娘。この私から逃げ切れるものか。
これは訓練じゃない。訓練じゃないんだ。勝負は一瞬だ。この機会を逃せば二度目はない。まだだ。まだ遠い。もうちょっと。もうちょっと。今だ。指揮官停止。全開減速。
I like that.
何のつもりだ。
I like how they're putting us through the motions so we understand what's going on.
指揮官噴射。
愚かな。たかが推進排気でこの船が傷つくものか。まさか。
Blinding is what it is.
まさか推進剤に反物質を。
Shouldn't you be blowing up right now then?
お見事です、王女殿下。
I don't get it. There was antimatter in that, and his ship is made of matter. Didn't he get blown up?
男爵を
殺した。全男爵、お悔やみ申し上げる。
いえ殿下、戦いでしたからな。
お悔やみ？それだけかい？
何を怒ってるんだ？
だって君は人を殺したんだよ。
殺さなければこっちが殺されていた。
それは分かってるさ。だけど
やめなさい少年。お前さんが動転することはない。王女殿下が人を殺すところを見たくなかったんじゃろう。
全男爵の言ったことは本当か？
まあそうかな。
なぜなんだ？
それはその。
言っておくが、あれは戦いだったんだぞ。
そりゃ分かってるよ。
私が戦いに勝って何か不都合があるのか？
とんでもない。負けてりゃそれこそ大変なことになっていたよ。
じゃあなぜなんだ？
いや、それは答えにくいな。
Well, only the living people can feel sorry for the dead people. The dead people can only feel nothing.
許す。感謝するがよい。
ありがとう。
さて、話がまとまったところでわしは諸領を掌握させてもらいますわい。
Oh, how are the vassals gonna feel about this? You don't even have blue hair.
全男爵は泣いていなかったでもその一言には深い悲しみが込められていた
Oh, wow. I did not expect it was going to end so quickly. Because we barely made any progress, and I guess the thing that's getting to me is the indication that they made that this was going to change everything. Maybe this is going to have, like, long-lasting effects? Or, God forbid, Sloof is not who he appears to be, or, at the very least, not what he appears to be? What if Sloof is a villain of some sort? I mean, I can't really say what kind of villain he is, were he to be one. I know I want him to be on our side, and I want him to come with us, but my point being, what has she done here to create such long-lasting effects? It's either Saylee is actually going to become her vassal somehow, or a vassal in her family, which is somehow going to tip the scale somewhere, like a butterfly effect. It's either that, or Sloof is now in charge again of his own territory, in which case he's going to do something that's going to tip the scale at some point. One of these two things is the only thing I can read happening here. Okay, I kind of forgot if that's how we did our next time on, because I'm pretty sure our next time ons are usually like quick shots of the episode, and that appeared to be like a continuation of the episode, but I guess we never saw them go to the port or land on the planet, so I guess technically that does fit the whole next time on motif. That said, obviously, yes, they're using propaganda against the Ob, but it's also going to be how they find out that the Grossoth, was destroyed, I guess. Also implying that Lafiel was either wrong about the timing, which doesn't seem right, or they had to spend so much time fighting to get away from the Baron's domain that the 27 hours just ran up. That, or, I guess there's always going to be another or. That, or the United Mankind fleet was just faster than expected. I mean, there was more ships there than expected, right? Where one blip turned into 10 blips. So, entirely possible that they were just unexpected. Like we didn't we didn't anticipate them dragging a sword out to where they did, so it's entirely possible they had more, tricks up their sleeve. Also, pointedly, Lafiel was not in that shot, so assumingly she's off doing something else, or something happened. I don't think Jinto would be sitting on a hill doing nothing if Lafiel was in danger, and he could do anything to change the outcome. What else? I said my piece on the vassals. They're just weirdly indoctrinated towards the Ob by someone who was a low-ranking Ob. So it kind of just was all engineered to backfire in his face, even if he didn't realize it. Not that it matters, dude was a creep. I could live here with just my vassals and the bio meat. Who thinks that? I want to form a kingdom. His kingdom would have been likened to a post-apocalypse subterranean place, right? Like something out of Fallout, where everyone turns into cannibals. That's what I envision his cut-off empire becoming. No good. I hope that Sloof isn't up to no good too. Like I said, I've said my piece on if there's a change to be made, how he could be a part of it. Otherwise, I hope he's not. I hope he's just off screen somewhere and he's still with the group, but obviously he's probably not. He's probably stayed with the vassals and the barony he's in charge of again. Although I don't know what he's gonna do there, because obviously he doesn't have any progeny anymore. Even Clowal was talking about progeny, and we don't know where the wife is. Assumedly she died at some point. What else? What else? There is I'm about to say meta. It's not meta. There is the underlying issue of the fact that Lafiel just does not think the same as a human, which means that underlying every conversation they have is Jinto not understanding Lafiel and Lafiel not quite understanding Jinto. And I don't know if this is going to come up as a one course of thought is like insulting to the other or not, but I mean that's where we stand. I think that's the end of my thoughts here. Of course, we're going to go into note-taking section here, and I might come back with some additional thoughts, or maybe just rehash some thoughts I had from before that I may have come to more fruition with. So, I'll see you on the other side of that. Let's go. All right, everyone, back from the notes. Mostly, as I said, I think they were more just stuff that we've already said during the episode, but I think we'll just go back over it again in case I'm hit with sudden inspiration going over the actual letters of the words. The vassals admired and worshipped the Baron, but they were not loyal to him so much as captivated by the race, despite knowing that the Baron was just an average nobleman. I think I implied that maybe Saylee was more infatuated with the idea of the princess than she was actually following the princess, and I was worried that she might turn at some point if it was ever indicated that the possibility of her vassal status under the father would not come to pass, but it seemed like that was just an empty worry of mine that it was not coming to pass. Especially because we reached the end of the episode and it seems like Sloof is just going to take over the territory, which might lead to an uprising if I think about it, because Sloof doesn't even look like an op. He is of the nation. He is not ethnically a Nob, though. And without any of that, they might just, like, because we saw them in the control room, right? They're, like, gaining their own independence and need to do something. And now with the Baron gone, and they haven't even seen Sloof in forever, right? I don't even know when they know of him. I don't know that they know him. It might be that they just overthrow, right? And that could be the start of something right there. I may have missed something between this episode and the last one, as when Silne hands Lafiel her gun, I thought Lafiel already had a gun. She grabbed the two that Lexu had given Jinto from before. She had one herself and gave Silny the other to use. It seemed like Lafiel only had the one that Silny gave her in the end, though. So where did the second gun go? What did I miss? That's just a question for you in the audience, because I don't know. I'm literally asking, what did I miss? Sometimes sometimes I ask questions to the air for myself to answer, right? Usually I write a question specifically to ask Griff, but now I don't got that anymore. Look, you people, you see I'm sad, right? You see I'm sad. You be my new Griff. You're all my new Griff from now on. Clowal does have a point. Lafiel expressed that she'd have to ask her father about Silny even joining as her family's vassal, but she could put in a good word for her. It feels like Greta has just gone overboard and is saying that the princess is going to take everyone in as a false promise. And with Lafiel heading to the shuttle, she is either not in the complex to hear it or is disregarding it for the sake of the mission. Because, she's all about the Star Force's mission. In his rush to defeat Lafiel, Clowal negated his own his only bargaining chip in the creation of his own kingdom that he was talking about before. Without the fuel to negotiate with, or even the princess to hand over, which he was trying to kill, by the way, which is why I'm talking about that bargaining chip too, he'd have no cards to play if the United Mankind actually did show up. And yes, I know that the fuel plants are still there, but if they got no means to transport them or anything, then what's the use? The United Mankind would have to bring in their own, and you'd have nothing to prove that you have the ability, right? I suppose that if Sloop were willing to make such a political move, I guess he could use the fact that Lafiel intentionally endangered his vassals, with her thoughtlessly leaving the hatch open to space, potentially venting all the oxygen out of the port into space. In action, Lafiel herself had mentioned that if the Baron had done it to his own, he'd rather face a United Mankind concentration camp than the Ob consequence. Now, I have to believe that if a Baron has such an not authority, responsibility to his vassals, then a princess has to have such an obligation to the barons and the baronies therein, right? It has to be a top-down responsibility tier thing. I'm still not 100% sure if Jinto is imagining things or hallucinating at this point. The conversation with Doran in episode 2 aligns exactly with him imagining Lafiel hugging him and asking him if he's okay. Both express care and desire to be with another far more than is expressed by the actual person in the scene itself. I wonder if it's something that will come into play in a very real sense later, whether that be his need for acceptance or his hallucinations of things that are happening. So clearly they've done it twice now, and twice is no longer coincidence. Given that we are exposed to the differences between human thinking and what Shinto's thoughts are versus the Ob thinking is in Lafiel's actions and Sloof's explanations, I wonder if Clowal is meant to express a bridge between the two. I know that he is the villain here, but he circulates between the cold logic of the situation in front of him and the desire for what he thinks he can just take. There is no scene that makes me think this is more true than just after getting his treasonous vassals to save themselves with the leaking air situation. Then he goes outside to fight the battle, and we get a close up of his hair covering half of his eye, showing half blue and half red, which I feel is meant to express the both worlds in one sort of thing. I'm still not sure exactly how Cloel died. He appeared to have been poisoned, as though the antimatter fuel being injected into the shuttle's exhaust was leaking through his ship and poisoning him. I recognized that the outer hull of the ship started blistering, but still, I'm no physics expert. I just would have expected antimatter to have interacted with the matter of his ship and just blown it up. Right? That's the usual situation that you hear about, even in real life physics, that an antimatter matter reaction is to be destructive. My last thought here. At the very least, Cloal regretted having to kill his father, and if you think about it, expressed more emotion at the possibility of it happening than Sloof expressed at his son actually dying. I know Jinto says that there's like a weight behind his words, but I mean, actions speak louder than words, am I right? Cloal was crying, thinking about killing his dad. His dad was like, "This is alright. I can handle this. Time to go take back over the kingdom." So, there is a palpable difference between the two things. Other than that, I think that is my final thoughts for this episode. I don't think much has changed on the board. Actually, you know what? That is wrong. One thing has obviously changed on the board, and that is, where are you? You right here are no longer amongst the living. What the hell? Sorry. My push to talk button is the auto align button for the lines on here, so I can't talk and move these things at the same time. There we go. And I believe nobody was on the ship with him because he sent everybody else out to handle other things, which means technically she's our only enemy left if she decides to do something, assuming that Sloof down here doesn't turn out to be like a secret enemy. But yeah, that is it for, well, I mean, hidden enemy, obviously United Mankind, our enemy next time. But yeah, anyway, that is it for this time. Once again, answer any questions I've said if you want, and it's not spoilers, hit me back with it. Otherwise, tell me what you think. I would say otherwise a third time. That's it for today. I'm gonna sign out. Be sad by myself some more. I'll catch you next time on the next episode of Stone-Faced Reactions. Bye bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone-Faced Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?